A ritual to counteract sorcery. This is a fragment which comprises less than half of the original composition. The beginning is lost to history. She takes clay from the pit and ties it to the sacrificer. Thereafter we release it. She throws it into the hole which has been dug in the ground and speaks as follows, just as, broken text, brought up this clay from the pit and is presenting it to the sacrificer, even so let, broken text, bring up this man's recovery and vigor. She takes mud from the spring and ties it to the sacrificer. Thereafter we release it. She throws it into the hole which has been dug in the ground and speaks as follows. Just as the spring brought up this mud from the nether world, and people are presenting it to the sacrificer, even so let it bring up this man's recovery and vigor. Then she takes wine dregs and ties them to the sacrificer. Then she goes to the vineyard, takes a, broken text, loaf, breaks it, scatters the crumbs about, and says, Eat, you gods of the trees. Just as you gods let vanish every trace of the dregs, even so let this man's evil vanish. She takes branches from all of them, broken text, makes a float and puts it into the river. She returns to the clay pit, deposits a broken loaf for the demons of the clay pit, and speaks as follows. Eat, you demons of the clay pit. If the wicked sorcerer made over this man's form either to the clay pit or to the current of the river, give it back to him. Whatever she had taken to the open country, she carries back to the city and deposits it in the city within the inner chamber at a secret spot. The old woman goes forth and assembles in front of the sun 3 pieces of bitumen, holds a bronze dagger in readiness, and also kindles a fire. She throws the water and the broken loaf into it and speaks as follows. Whatever words the sorcerer spoke, whatever he twined together, whatever he wove, whatever he made in whatever place, those things he did not properly know, the sorcerer. He built up sorcery like a pillar, twined it together like a string. I am thwarting him. I have pushed over these words of sorcery like a pillar. I have untwined them like a string. The old woman pushes the pieces of bitumen over, breaks them and puts them into the fire. The old woman takes the cord, untwines it the left-hand way and untwines it the right-hand way and speaks as follows. If the sorcerer twined it from the right, I am now untwining it the right-hand way. If he twined it from the left, I am now untwining it the left-hand way. The old woman throws the threads into the fire and says as follows. Just as I have burned these threads and they will not come back, even so let also these words of the sorcerer be burned up. She then extinguishes the fire with water and she says, I have vanquished them, the words of sorcery. The spell that was superior, my spellbinding has vanquished. Since I cast a double counterspell, I spat upon them and I trampled them underfoot. Let the ass bloody them and let the ox muck them. Let man not even walk over them, let him spit on them. Let them be spat upon, the words of sorcery and the sorcerer himself. Afterwards the old woman spits once and speaks as follows. Let the 1,000 gods curse him, the sorcerer. Let heaven and earth curse him. The rest of the text is hopelessly mutilated or completely lost.